Hey,
Hello.
Thomas Nhan, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. I mean, it's been years that we've been getting together here at the Tableau conference to talk nerdy stuff inside of the deep inner workings of Tableau,
Yep.
and now finally we can do it on camera.
Yes. Finally, we've talked a lot.
Okay, so for the folks that don't know you,
Yep.
can you just introduce like your role? I know that you've been a senior product manager at Tableau for a very long time. You were in charge of relationships.
Yeah.
Previously, you worked on Microsoft Excel at Microsoft before Tableau.
Yeah.
And I see you and your influence over the product as being one of the most influential over the past many years. What is your role at Tableau?
I've been very lucky that I started in the same team in Tableau back in 2017 until now. Same team. The team has changed quite a bit.
Wow.
We pretty much work on the calculations.
Uh-huh.
We expand to do data modeling.
Uh-huh.
And then now doing more relationship.
Right.
And now we're seeing the relationship as we talked about earlier, how relations being used more broadly elsewhere as well.
Multi-fact would
Yep.
be included in that?
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've been at Tableau for a while. This is my 9th year.
Yeah. And nearly 10 years inside of the same team and the inner workings of the object model, the
Yeah.
relationships, the multi-fact,
Yeah.
LOD calculations. Was that you?
That was way
That
before
was
my
before
time.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, one of the main questions that I'm asking here at the conference
yeah,
is where is Tableau and how does Tableau fit in today's modern world of analytics where agentic programming is coming in?
yep,
There's new competition where coming up from underneath Databricks and Snowflake, the database providers,
Yep.
the AI providers,
yep,
the new startups, everybody wants a piece of Tableau.
yep,
And so if I'm a decision maker, I'm in charge of my Tableau platform,
yep.
I'm probably wondering what am I going to do with my BI stack?
Mm-hmm.
And so from a product perspective, I'd like to just dig into that a little bit deeper with you.
It sounds good.
I'll give you an example. I met with a Tableau customer last night.
Okay.
He hasn't been to the Tableau conference for a while. He's a vice president, a senior leader, but he gets what's going on. He says,
Yep.
I've got my MongoDB stuff over here. I've
Yep.
got all of my Hadoop stuff over here.
Yep.
We've got 160 sites on our Tableau server. We've got really good groomed published data sources. And I'm kind of in this jam because somewhere along the line, this multi-fact thing came in
Yeah.
and all of my data started to behave differently.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm here at this year's Tableau conference in order to like re-familiarize myself with what's going on and make sure that they're not going to slip anything in that's going to change the behavior of the way my stuff works, right?
Yep.
And so that person is with his organization considering like what are we going to do with our BI stack?
Yep.
In your perspective,
Yep.
where is Tableau today?
Tableau will continue to evolve.
Uh-huh.
What got Tableau where it is today is to really harness the creativity of our users. That is not going away. However, we're also going to new area, like into the how people govern data. I often joke with my team is that Tableau is developed by a bunch of data hippies.
Okay.
That we want to free and liberate data.
Uh-huh.
But without democratization of data, it become a pretty chaotic.
You also need some structure.
Exactly. We have a very chaotic ecosystem. So now you start seeing Tableau investing a lot more. Multi-fact isn't something easily can be done with Tableau. We introduced multi-fact is to harness the user who are used to the enterprise level type of semantics. Now they can express that easily in Tableau. What you hear a lot about in this conference today is you hear a lot about composable data source.
Right.
Yes, we're giving people more flexibility. I think you hear a lot of Tableau users love that. But in there, implies like now we start introducing governance into the
Right.
system. That is very much something that is very much neglected in the Tableau data ecosystem.
Right, right.
So as I said earlier, like what got us here, probably not going to continue to carry on, but we still have those DNA in us, but we still broadening and capturing more user and start addressing issues that are start being sort of growing within Tableau. We're well aware of that, like how do we introduce governance? How do we help you harness the data, maybe some of the semantics outside of Tableau, how do we help you capture it and reuse that? And that's we see that time about like the whole OSI effort, like the open semantic interchange.
Right, right. I'm
Yeah.
so glad that that's happening. It's very important.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is how we are sort of help understand, yes, you might decide to do some semantic that's closer to your data because you might need that flexibility, but Tableau allows that. Tableau still very
Tableau
much
can consume those semantics that I've defined someplace else.
exactly.
Yeah.
And at the very least, we need to be able to delegate to the underlying layer to get that semantics in. We might not necessarily understand it, but we know the end result of it, and we help you to use it.
You can pull it in and make use of it.
Exactly, and that's you see the connector today. You can bring in that, but then since Tableau has not done the integration piece, that's why it's still a little bit janky. But as we do the work there, as I show in some of my talk later,
Okay.
And then you start seeing how that start coming together.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one piece in terms of, yes, the data will still continue evolving, especially at LM now, accelerating in many, many directions. We're well aware of that. So parts of the company is leaning into the agentic piece.
Okay.
There's still parts of the company we're still leaning on the day-to-day, the bread and butter of the analyst. Despite LM being able to help you do a lot of exploration, I would venture to say still lacks the human creativity, the human judgment, and ultimately the human taste that LM does not yet have. And we still need the analysts to do that piece. And then we still allow that ability for you to do that in Tableau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking earlier about this triangle between cost, flexibility, and performance.
Yep.
And how a philosophy of Tableau software has always been to lean very heavily on the flexibility side of that piece.
Yep.
Perhaps at the expense of performance and cost
governance.
and governance,
Yep.
right? Freedom to the people, right?
Yep.
Right? What are some of the things, because if I'm a Tableau customer who has really invested a lot into pushing the limits of the feature set,
Yep.
one of the things that I'm running into is that Tableau just doesn't perform that well. What are some of the things that you're doing in order to bring that more to the fore?
That can be addressed in multiple ways. I think some of the immediate performance issue, you might be able to address that, like using prep as a way of preparing your data. The other piece is that we're also thinking about longer term, like how do we help leaning on the knowledge of the analyst, helping them to scope the data, taking snapshots of your data, so that you sacrifice the flexibility to Tableau, you give up a little bit of that flexibility in order to gain back in terms of performance. Or maybe this is hypothetical now. So it could also be that there could be different phases to how you use Tableau. Maybe the early phase is the exploration phase, but as you evolve over time, you realize that the exploration have gotten you the insights that you need.
Now it's time to structure, and then it's time to communicate.
Exactly.
Okay.
So maybe then we need to lean on that, because Tableau right now, as a user experience, is very much the whole cycle of visual analytics, right? You can come in at any point and still come in and combine your data in any way possible and continue to iterate. We still probably keep that, but maybe there are pieces of it now. You can put that into structuralize that a little bit and lock that down so that we can give you better performance. Because if we continue to give you flexibility, then that's why the Tableau will not be as performant as it could have been.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because of that triangle. One of the things that we've been talking about internally at Action is this I'd say decision point that a lot of Tableau platform owners are at right now, where they need to decide, what am I going to do with my BI stack?
Yep.
And one of our Actionauts, Jay Farias, just wrote a blog post. He says, Tableau is not a black box.
Yep.
It's something almost worse. It's a gray box.
Yep.
And so what that means is that Tableau gives you this amazingly flexible ability to connect to any data set, from any data provider, at any level of preparation that's been done, from the most raw to the most prepared. And you can get your stuff done. Right? And that has brought immense flexibility to the users, but I would say that a trade-off that has accumulated as the result of that is this gray box syndrome, where my business logic is trapped in XML. My business logic is trapped in myriad levels of opaque calculations. And it's almost like I need to perform some sort of archaeology in order to reverse engineer what is that business logic, and how do I pull that business logic out of these cascading series of opaque stages and steps that it's been through, say, to a published data source, to a set, to a calculation, to a table calculation, it's all bottled up in XML.
Right.
Whereas today's paradigm is more of an agentic paradigm. It seems the industry is going more code first instead of low code, no code,
Yep.
where everything can be structured and governed and controlled. And those series of joins that might have happened in that more opaque gray box
Yep.
now are almost undisputably better off being performed in advance with my DBT pipeline,
Yep.
in my database, in my data lakehouse, producing my gold layer and so on. How is Tableau going to help me to perform this business logic archaeology? How is it going to help me to pull back from that state that I'm in while retaining the value of the Tableau platform,
Yep.
but getting that business logic into a more clear state in the form of a markdown file, a skills file that I can run my AI agent against?
Yeah. So I think the first answer to that is that we definitely want you to continue to evolve with Tableau, meaning that the data that you have today should be reusable beyond just Tableau. And that's why you saw the headless BI offering that we released back in early 2025.
I was very enthusiastic about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with that, then we follow up with the MCP, so you can adapt now to the agentic analytics that you can use. But that's not the end. To me, that's just the beginning of the first step that we plan. The second step after that is that I know you talked about open up the XML. There's actually a deep philosophical conversation within the company, actually.
Okay.
Should we release more of the XML that you lean on? Where it, to me as a product person, I actually find that scary, because you can specify whatever you want in XML and you don't know how successful you have been until you have Tableau execute on it. Then the other piece is that maybe we should open up some API in a more thoughtful, methodical fashion, like we did with headless BI, so that you can get validation. So before you commit something to Tableau, you actually know that it is working and working the way you intended to work. So that's where we're sort of leaning now. Internally, currently, we call it TDS API. I'm sure marketing will come in and put a fancier term around it.
Yeah, give it a new name.
Yeah, because to me, this is like the second phase, the evolution of headless BI. The first is that using Tableau purely as query. So you should get your agent to see the same data as you saw in the dashboard.
Through the VDS.
Exactly. The next step after that is, what if we, as agent becoming smarter, agents have more skills. Agents have more ability to participate in doing analysis for you and help you persist that. I think as a platform, we all now do that. I can't imagine the day of everybody running Claude, how they will collaborate with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I have a fantasy world where I can just articulate all of the APIs through my agent. I don't have to write any of the code on my own.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would be like the next step, evolving the API, so that I think XML is a stopgap solution. I don't think it's a long-term solution. XML might have been a technology from 15 years ago.
It's quite dated by now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should we continue using that? I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's why I'd rather give you a higher level abstraction at the API level. So now you can call Tableau, and then you can use a more pro code approach.
Right.
And then you can check that into Git if you choose to.
Right. Pro code is definitely the way that the industry is trending.
Yep.
Which is somewhat antithetical to everything we've been enthused about for all of these years.
Yeah.
A couple of other questions. Where would you say, if there was a slider, a spectrum, where would you say is Tableau philosophically on the spectrum of this concept of API first?
Yeah. I think it depends on who you ask, but I think the consensus is slowly now converging on much more API first. Tableau, yes, Tableau came on and be successful because it's amazing user experience. The founder thought of this idea of iterative analytics, and that fundamentally
That cycle of
changed.
visual analytics.
Exactly. That changed the self-service paradigm, right? But then the future is that everybody is becoming very tech savvy.
Right.
I have talked to customers who I wouldn't expect to be tech savvy, They're
This
amazingly
VP was telling me all about these technical details.
exactly,
Right?
and they're becoming technical savvy, and we need to start meeting our customer where they are, and that's why
That's
we
right.
started opening up the system.
That's right.
We start opening up the API. We already planned, so the API that you saw in 2025 was our team actually started working back in late 2020. It took a while to refactor the code to be where it is today. Hopefully now that we see the success of that, our leadership will be investing more and more into this area to continue to open up the API.
Yeah.
I think the little secret in Tableau is that what got Tableau where it is today is that in the process developed some amazing technology underneath the query pipeline, the connectivity layer, all of these, these are the unsung hero of Tableau.
Right.
And we want to be open
And
that up.
I would say not very well appreciated either,
No,
right?
yeah.
Like it's easy to fantasize that, oh, I'm going to vibe code my replacement for Tableau.
Yeah.
It'll be ready next week,
Yep.
right? But little do you appreciate in that kind of naive thought the depth of engineering that's gone in
Yep.
over the long term.
Yeah, it goes back to what we discussed earlier about the way I see LLM being used today. It's like the early days of 3D printing. Everybody thought, okay, I can 3D print everything. I don't need to buy stuff.
Yeah, why would I buy things anymore if I could
Yep.
just print my own fork before dinner?
Exactly.
But
Then they
somehow
realized-
I'm still buying the same things and I haven't printed any of them.
Yeah, maybe LM completely changed this paradigm, but at least that's the early days. That's what I'm seeing, and there's just something about human ingenuity, be able to make things at scale, at the quality that we wanted, and we continue to do things for each other, be helpful for each other, in ways I don't think machine can appreciate other than being sycophantic.
And definitely one of the things that I've picked up speaking with you over the years is the depth of engineering thought that needs to go into these changes. Because admittedly, I'm often sort of scraping on your heels to say, can I have it yet? Why isn't it done yet? And you said, well, I have to think about row level security and I have to make sure that it functions with everything else. And, and so
the matrix has become bigger and bigger.
That's
right.
right.
So composable data source and everything else.
Right. Well, before we wrap up, is there any question that I didn't ask or any topic that you see is very important? Actually, I've got something. You say what got us here today won't get us there. Would you be willing to articulate what is that transition? Like what is it that's required of Tableau in order to get the product to where it needs to be in the future?
I think you actually touched upon that already, in that what got us here is harnessing the creativity of humanity.
Of the humans.
And then the next step is how do we help humans to work with each other at scale, at the enterprise. I think that's something, people might surprise to hear me say this, but that's what Salesforce is very good at, harnessing groups of people to collaborate with each other, who have workflows that's not easily, to be able to coordinate a company working at that scale. And that's something that Tableau, as I joked earlier, I often joke about, data hippies wouldn't know how to combine and work together in that way, and collaborate that way.
Got it. Got it. Okay, well thanks Thomas, it's been a great conversation.
Thank you. I look forward to having more of these in-depth conversations.
Let's do it again. Okay, bye-bye.
It's time for action.
It's time for